Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nafalda Agus Wijayanto, and I am recording this video to complete my assignment for the subject Islamic education by answering these questions. First question: what is the definition of riba? Riba itself is an Arabic word meaning usury or interest in English. In Islamic banking, riba refers to charged interest. It has also been referred to as usury or known as the charging of unreasonably high interest rates. Muslims are not allowed to benefit from lending or money or receiving money from someone. Second question: what are the types of riba based on the text? Explain each of them completely and clearly. The types of riba that are mentioned in the text are: the first category of riba itself is called riba al-buyu. Riba al-buyu is an excess in sale or trading transaction. It also means any sale transaction in which one commodity is exchanged for another, but the amounts are unequal and at least the delivery of one of the commodities is postponed or delayed. There are two types included in riba al-buyu. It is riba al-fadl and riba an-nasiyah. Riba al-fadl is the exchange of ribawi items with different weights, measurements, or numbers at the same time. It refers to the buying and selling of similar goods in different amounts, like in number, weights, values, and etc., with the same price. For example, exchanging 2 kilograms of dates for 3 kilograms of dates on 3rd December at the same time. The excess of 1 kilograms of dates is counts as riba al-fadl. Riba an-nasiyah. Riba an-nasiyah happens because of the deferment at the time of the exchange. The exchange of ribawi material in this scenario is equal of weights, measurements, and numbers. But both the payment of the price and the delivery are not at the same time. In other words, it is a sale transaction of a homogeneous and equal commodity and postponement or delay of the delivery. The second category of riba is called riba ad-duyun. Riba ad-duyun is a type of debt interest that arises when people lend or borrow money. Riba ad-duyun is any unreasonable interest increase in borrowing or lending money paid in kind or in money over the loan amount as a lender imposed condition or willingly by the borrower. There are two types included in riba ad-duyun. It is riba al-qard and riba al-jahiliyah. Riba al-qard. Riba al-qard is imposed from the start and is dependent on the length of time the borrower takes to repay the loan. For example, Ali borrowed $100 from Khalid on 10% interest for 1 year. Upon maturity, Ali will pay $110 to Khalid. The principal amount is $100 and the interest is $10. Riba al-jahiliyah. Riba al-jahiliyah happens because of the default of payment, and there is no riba at the beginning of the contract. This type of riba occurs when a creditor in a deferred exchange contract asks the debitor for additional money on the original debt and postpones the debt payment deadline to another time. For example, Amin owes Salim $1,000 on 25th January. Then Amin cannot pay Salim on the agreed date, so Salim agrees to not collect his debt until 25th February, in exchange for Amin agreeing to pay him $1,200 instead of $1,000. Sharia strictly prohibits these transactions. Third question: why is riba forbidden in Islam? Riba itself is forbidden in Islam because Islam forbids the adoption of interest or riba due to the negative consequences that come with it. And those negative consequences are: the first one is riba is foundation of injustice. When a person borrows money, It indicates that the person is in need of the fund. By charging interest, the lender places an additional burden on the borrower, which is unfair. Interest or riba itself is a mechanism used by a wealthy individual to generate more money at the expense of the poor, and it promotes inequitable wealth redistribution. The second one is riba damage society. Riba exploits the poor and needy people and only benefits the lender. The wealthy creditors divert their current earnings in order to profit from the interest on the loans given to needy debtors in the future. As a result, it raises the creditor's future wealth while decreasing the debtor's future profits. It is a complete act of exploitation that will increase poverty among the poor and widen the gaps between the rich even more. The third one is riba creates negative economic growth. Riba does not indicate that the money is being used productively. The need to pay the additional charge, interest, causes the borrower to cut back on consumption, lowering demand for goods and services. Furthermore, riba destabilizes the economy to some extent. An increase or decrease in an interest rate corresponds to the ups and downs of the economy. The last question: is credit sales permissible in Islam? Elaborate the reasons. Yes, credit sales are permissible in Islam under certain conditions. The key distinction between credit sales and riba lies in their structure. 1. In credit sales, profit is earned through legitimate trade involving hard work and effort, risk-taking, and value creation. 2. Conversely, riba involves earning fixed income without effort or risk, which is considered unjust in Islam. Islamic principles allow deferred payments in trade as long as they do not involve interest or exploitation. These principles ensures fairness and justice in financial transactions. And that's all of the answers for these four questions. If I do make any mistakes in pronunciation or in other things, please forgive me as I am currently sick right now. That's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.